It's kitchen sink, basically. That's like the Bill Gates poop water.
Well, you could take take someone's piss that's diabetic and absolutely ferment that shit.
What I think is hilarious.
It's so sweet, dude. Diabetics have super sweet piss. Now,
why weren't you recording?
I was recording that.
Yeah.
You know, it wasn't fun.
What?
Opening $600 worth of Shining Fates and not getting a single Charizard.
Oh.
that's unbelievable.
Hate to see it, but something good came out of it.
What
believe it or
happened?
not.
Please tell me.
Well,
What?
when you switched over.
Wait. You got to with this?
Maybe. Should I? Hold on. Let me. There we go.
Dude,
nice
this
picture.
card, by the way.
By the way, yeah, let's see how much
Thick
it's selling
boy.
for right now.
It's a thick boy.
So here I am. I got everything set together, okay? I want to make a YouTube video, okay? So I did 128 Shining Fates pack. Can I pull the Charizard, like the hunt? Because the original hunt was for the Tyranitar, the sleeping Tyranitar. If you haven't seen the video, I did pull it, and I was super excited about it. And I was almost like, you know what? This is just gonna happen every single time. Like, I'm just going to get every card that I want.
You were set up for failure, buddy.
I was.
The gambler's fallacy.
Why didn't you ask me? I had to let you know.
So
Not how that goes.
I had Champions Path V boxes, which means 4 in each one. And I had about 4 of them. And I'm like, you know what? I had them for a month. I'm like, I'm just going to start opening these. I'm not going to buy any more cards until I open everything. Let's see what I get. I recorded it. First freaking Champions Path I ever opened in my life. This guy.
So the first pack.
The first one.
Not the first set, the first pack in the first set.
So the viewers that are watching this video right now, they might not know. I've watched this little clip that he
I would
shared.
say without footy, it's
magical.
fiction.
He literally
Yep.
he asked the universe for a specific card.
Yep. I did.
Manifesting your reality.
And he says, "This is my first pack ever opened."
Yep.
And I don't want to go any further, but dude called it basically like Babe Ruth. Like imagine
called
him
a shot. Yeah,
just like pointing to the fan actually in the crowd, like you're gonna get this.
Yeah, you're
home run.
gonna
Points
catch
to
this ball.
Charizard, looking him dead in the eye.
Hey, Charizard.
I don't know what else to say.
Hey, buddy.
I was like,
Just show us what you said. I want
oh,
to.
do you want to see it?
Yes, we
I'd
do.
love to see
Yeah,
Oh man, put it up
absolutely.
live, dude.
Let's do it.
Let me do it.
You know he was in the 129th pack of the other set, though, right? He's just one
Yeah,
away.
yeah. You should
He's
have
always
bought one
just
more.
one away.
You should have bought one more.
Exactly, dude. And you know what I did? I bought 30 more. So
Well, look at this channel here. This channel looks really well done, well managed. I like this channel. Let's throw that out there.
I'm
welcome
a fan.
to the multiplayer mode podcast. My name is Hype Stadium, and along me I have, what's your name today?
My name today is going to be AKA. Well, first of all, my name's Justin.
Oh,
First of all, but
Is it?
my name's Justin, but I'm also known as Mr. Dexterity because dude knows how to use chopsticks. I'm just throwing that out there.
Dexterity.
When I get hibachi, I'm like chopsticks. Sometimes for 2. I'm ambidextrous when I use chopsticks.
Do you
doing?
stab
Throwing
with
that
them,
out
or do
there.
you actually like?
Wait. Hey,
your
Oh,
chopstick
I'm
stab?
actually.
Oh, wow.
yeah, dude got dexterity. Whoa.
What's up?
I didn't know this video was going. I was just like,
it's going.
Water energy. That's a big pull. That's huge.
Hold on.
All right,
Can
we
you-
gotta go. Here we go. What do we got?
Can you do me a
We
favor?
got
and
Piers. What's up?
Can you comment on his dexterity as he opens the cards, just from your expertise?
As a dexterous.
well,
Yeah.
the tension from the palm to the ring finger is actually spot on.
How was the opening? Because I pretty much fucked that up every
I
single
would say
time.
his index finger is above average strength. The way he ripped the pack open like an absolute boss.
I'll take it.
Okay.
It's the adrenaline.
So from a first date standpoint, the ladies would be very pleased. Now,
Come here.
my
Am I right?
observation on the
let me
left
rip you
hand, on the
open.
left hand pulling the cards, he seems a little rough. Like sometimes I see other cards lift, but those are things through dexterity you learn over time. You asked for it, dude. I gave you the full service.
Well, I asked for it.
For you, Mr. Dexterity.
Oh, now you
hey,
know.
what's your name, by the way?
Oh, my name is Andrew, but you can also call me Scotty 100 Hands.
Got it. Scotty 100 hands will take it.
It's only 98 more hands.
98 more hands.
And then, hopefully this isn't your first time watching, but I'm Ridge. Thanks again for Scotty 100 Hands standing in for otherwise known as Scotty 2 Hands.
Yeah, well,
Scotty B,
yeah.
call him later.
Sometimes 2 feet, I've been told,
He
too.
does have 2
sometimes
feet.
two
everyone.
But not what's attached to his legs.
Yes.
All right.
All right. So this is the card before the card.
the card before the card.
Zigzagoon and
Dude, out of body right now. He's out of
I was geeking.
first pack, and he called it.
Yeah.
Yup.
I love how it ends.
That sounds like one of the screaming goats.
yes.
Well,
Have you
yes,
seen the videos of the
yes.
goats
Passes
screaming?
out.
if you watch Hype Stadium's live streams on his Twitch channel, he screams like a little girl like that when he plays
do.
the horror games.
That makes
as
it
well.
authentic.
My wife commented on that.
Those
She
games are scary.
She goes, she was like, after everyone left the other night, she was like, he's the one that screams like a little girl in the videos, right?
I wear that with the badge of honor. I wear that with the badge of
Hey, there
honor.
ain't no ego with this guy, and I love that.
We were
Like,
watching-
he's just
we were-
his pure self.
We were
gotta
watching
do
your
it. That's the
stream
only way I
in
know how to go.
Kroger. We were in Kroger. I was watching it on my phone.
In Kroger?
Yeah, people were like in the aisles, and my phone's just going.
Oh my!
Someone calls the cops on you
Oh
for
my
the content you're
gosh.
watching.
The horror lane is not easy.
So
but
it's
not.
I commend the man for
People
taking
want this. They want the screams. They
No,
want the
and-
meaty, genuine screams.
Okay,
Yeah,
I do it to myself too. I specifically have this thing called sound alerts on Twitch as well, which means like people can like pay bits and sometimes channel points and stuff like that in order to play something very loud and scary to try to scare me. So I do it to myself.
You need to set it up so they can shock you.
I'm
like
just
a
I'm
lab
so,
rat.
Ooh.
Oh my god!
30 bits
That's
for
too
a
much.
shock.
That's too much. Dude, someone's going to hack that real quick.
Just a,
that's good. Someone's gonna hack it. I can't
just
do
a
it.
little nice cock shock.
It's the Napoleon Dynamite time machine.
Money,
You put the
please.
Money, please.
Oh, man. If the viewers only knew. But yeah, there was a little bet that someone wouldn't say a special phrase of words.
Yeah.
In
It
fairness,
it
you
happened.
didn't say bro.
Little
at
do
the end.
do
I
they
didn't,
know,
but I
like,
said
we have no
cock shock.
filters.
Yeah,
so.
I'll give you credit.
So
That's
yeah,
full
what
credit.
are we
Oh,
hitting today?
wow.
So we
My lane.
got some pretty cool games coming out that I'm excited for, and I think other people are excited for. And one is coming out tomorrow/today, depending on when you're watching this.
Nice.
Now I played.
4K,
dude.
4K confirmed.
I
There
played
you go.
about 2 hours of this game when it first came out, but I know one of us had put some massive hours inside of this game.
And what's that game? Justin?
Mass Effect, baby.
Would you
Mass
say that it had a
Effect.
mass
Legendary
effect on you?
edition.
Legendary Edition.
So this game actually, I have a lot of time, and it came at a time in my life where I didn't have kids, so I was really able to get immersive into these video games. But this trilogy is absolutely epic. I have a lot of friends at my company that I work with that also enjoyed it with me. I think for about a 10-year period, maybe a little less, they absolutely dominated like this space genre. And to me, really, they predicted the future in a lot of ways, like Star Trek did back in the 70s, I believe, when Star Trek was out.
60s, 70s, yeah.
So, like, you talk about, like, gene editing. You talk about, like, Neuralink and, like, getting these chips in your brain and everything. This game had that as upgrades. This was, like, the upgrade path that you would take. So there's a lot of things that really stuck with me on this game. The character development was outstanding. And the dialogue, amazing. The cinematography that they used to, like, kind of depict... I think there were some legit actors that
sure.
were in this
Yeah.
game. Voice acting through the roof.
Yep.
I think this series forced everyone else to raise their game up.
Right.
In regards to like the cinema side of things,
Yeah.
but and really it was the pinnacle of the 360 potential. Like I played it on the Xbox series, it pushed that console in a way I've never seen before. But I'm going to summarize really quick, and we'll open the floor up.
Yeah.
But for the viewers in particular, something I definitely want to point out, like the decision making that you made in this game, it was unique in this way. The decisions you made not only changed the ending, which we might have heard before, but it went into the next game, which was crazy. So if I decide to have like a positive arc, I'm helping people out in different planetary systems. There's certain races that I help out. So when I loaded up the sequel years later, my shepherd, which was the main character,
Yeah.
all the decisions I made, whether I was blood hungry and evil, or I was in the middle, or I was very positive, all of those decisions came with me into the next. So the character lines have been developed. My relationships with certain species were set in place, whether I decimated their family or I helped save their race.
Yeah.
Right. So it you kind of built that arc over 3 games. I don't even know how you maintain this. We were talking about Game of Thrones the other day and how difficult those books are. I think this is how difficult those books are to keep the storyline going, and then as you make new books, tying all that together. I feel like that is very much present here in this series.
Yeah, like a
those decisions that you make.
multi-layered
Oh,
story,
man, just
for
so
sure.
many layers. Really, probably a developer's nightmare long term. But they finished the series, at least the first 3. I'm not even going to talk about Andromeda.
Yeah, we don't discuss Andromeda.
Yeah, it's like
So-
a Fight Club.
But to finish my summarization is that I really love this series. I'm excited for this remaster. 4K is hype as hell, and I cannot wait to play this on the new Xbox technology once the chip shortage is fixed. But yeah, anyways.
So what do
you guys think?
I would just say, I mean, the thing I think maybe viewers might want to know about, because obviously we're going to talk about the games in general, and I mean, if you watch anything, on YouTube or summaries or that kind of thing, people tend to have that same point of view that you had on the games. I think the thing that people might want to be interested in is what is the Legendary Collection include. So so we're getting the first, second, third Mass Effect game, all remastered, fully remastered, basically a new layer of paint, right? Better shapes, more intricate details. Obviously upgraded to 4K. And that also includes
extensive amount of the DLC.
Yes, includes all DLC. So that's the other thing. So for
how long it took them.
$60,
that's a good question.
3 fully remastered games with all the previous DLC. I mean that's a really great deal. I mean, I think preserving games that need preserved, despite the fact that these games really aren't that old at this point. I think that's really, really important.
The fighting system in this game is just fused into my head. It was just so legendary.
I'm one of those people that I played Halo and I did not play Mass Effect. Not to say that you should be mutually exclusive, but I kind of was. It was probably like, okay, I'm gonna buy a game. Is it Halo or is it Mass Effect? So for me, like, I think I played 15 or 20 minutes just randomly one time of Mass Effect 2. So I didn't understand the story. I didn't understand like what was going on. So I definitely don't recommend that. But I think this is great for huge fans of the series to go, okay, great. I can use this on the new technology. I can feel like I'm playing a new game, but I get to continue to have that experience that I love, the nostalgic experience. But then for people like me, for $60, I can get all the games, all the DLC, experience it, and not feel like I'm stepping back 10 years to play a game that I missed out on.
Good call out.
Yeah, I would say it's not a series that I dabbled with too much. I had a lot of buddies that really appreciated the series and played it a good deal. I have heard very good things about it. People have their qualms with the third one and stuff, but any franchise that's going on for in years of installments and DLC, it's going to change. Teams change, but I think this is a good opportunity too, because when you get into those situations where you move from gen to gen, right? It's important to maintain the accessibility of these titles. So, like, if you're a younger person or you didn't have the 360 or the PS3, or, you didn't play it the first time around on PC or whatever, it's important to have the opportunity to now provide that on the console, like especially the PlayStation 5, which doesn't have the backwards capability that the Xbox Series does.
True. This will pay good to that.
Xbox fans, you could bust out the old disc if you still have it and play it. But for, people on PlayStation, this is a good opportunity to bring the titles forward. And bundling them all together for a decent price with all the DLC, all the bells and whistles, that's pretty good. So I'm glad they're doing something like that.
Yeah, I like that you brought that up, because when you think of the ending of 3, that was the big gripe that people had, because you did all these decisions to build the arc of the character, and you're established in this universe, and at the very end of the game, that ending fell short, depending on kind of your decisions that you made. And then they made a huge patch to give you a really good, well thought out ending that they should have delivered the first go at it, and that really did impact the fans. But it forced me, once I got the big patch, I went back in, kind of
replay excuse,
I was like,
right?
This ending's way better. So, nice. But they had to do those types of things to kind of build things up. But I like that you're younger than me, so you have that different perspective of things, and kind of that other angle of this game might have missed your generation.
Yeah, it was pretty popular with a lot of my friends.
It was,
but just slightly younger than me. Anyone that jumped on PS4, late PS3, 360 era, they probably would have missed this. I do think this is a good opportunity to talk. I think as far as Mass Effect or long-term games go, it can struggle with sort of the curse of the sequel, right? Mm-hmm. Where people think, this is so great, I want something exactly like it, but also different, so it's not exactly the same, right? Yeah. So anytime you have a successful series that's innovative, there's always a sense of, 2 steps forward, 1 back, we changed this, I didn't like that. So I know some people have opinions that, 1 is better in this capacity, 2 changed this, 3 changed it, but it all bundled together and it all presented again with, like a fresh coat of paint, like you said, for a remaster. I think it's pretty cool, and it's probably something I'll end up picking up and playing through.
Yeah. Not everybody's Pixar. right?
Yeah,
And they're not going
right.
to just make hit after hit after hit after hit, or I guess Marvel at this point.
Sure.
So yeah, I mean, to make a new game that actually goes well. I mean, let's be honest. It sounds like they were bound for a flop, which I think is what happened with Andromeda.
Yeah.
Well, again, I didn't play it, so can we talk
Whole
about
new
that
team,
just
too.
a touch? Just like what?
Sure.
I think it's
just for a
important to
minute
talk
or
about.
two.
Sure.
Why was Andromeda such a flop?
Well,
I want your opinion.
1, 2, and 3, I think were spaced out beautifully, and you could tell that the management and/or those developers were intact throughout that trilogy, and they had a true vision and an effort to finish that thought of Shepard and his arc. Now, then what happened is that I'm not sure. I forget what games they worked on after 3 ended. But they took a break for Mass Effect.
They did a couple of the Dragon Ages, I believe.
Yes.
Yeah, that's what it
So
was.
then some time went on. I imagine some other developer teams poached some folks, and then so you kind of lost that original core essence and effort. And then I think they realized that the fans really wanted a fourth. They wanted that follow up, whether a prequel or a further extension of Shepard or whatever it was going to be.
Yep.
And then this is what they delivered, and it was, I think.
They missed the mark.
Visually, I think they had it.
Yes.
Visually, but the cinematic, the love, the detail of the decision making, that's where the original fans were really disappointed. It just wasn't, it didn't have that polish. Not to say that the first 3 were perfect. It definitely had some bugs, but there was just so much potential. People were able to forgive some things.
Yep.
People were just way more critical because they were expecting a much more polished This was like an Anthem flop.
Yes.
So this is a single-player Anthem flop, in my opinion.
Man,
And I
Anthem.
think these developers were related potentially with that effort. I may be incorrect
The
there.
Anthem
but
developers?
I think those teams were kind of related.
Interesting.
I'm not sure on that one.
I might need to let me confirm that on this. That way, our viewers know the answer to that.
Sure. I want to give my point
Yeah, jump
because
in.
all right. So here's me. Okay, I played a few hours of the original Mass Effect, and basically, what I would refer it to was like maybe like a space version of Fable, which was a game that I absolutely love. So I never got hooked on the Mass Effect thing though, and my friends adored Mass Effect. I was working at a GameStop when this came out, and my coworkers were telling me how I have to get this game. I have to get this game. Like if you like the choice thing, if you like the romancing thing, which is in this game as well, you should check this out. You're probably gonna like it. Now, visually, like how Justin was talking about, it looked amazing.
Andromeda, we're talking?
Yeah, Andromeda, we were talking
Oh, they
about.
nailed it. It was the first like
looked-
real 4K PS4.
Looked so good. I remember feeling like everything that I was doing inside the game was a chore. And then the next thing I know, it was like, this is the final mission. Do you want to continue? And I literally said to myself, no, I don't. And I turned it off and I never played it again.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
It
fans
sounds
were upset.
It sounds almost like what we got with Halo 4, right? They went to 343, and I don't want to jump into Halo because I know we have lots of other topics to get to, but went to 343.
It's applicable here.
A different, a different core group of developers. It left Bungie, it left, left Microsoft in that way. But
it really does impact things, man. Creative.
And what you said, the chore, that's what made me think of it. So Halo 4 is literally this. Because I bought it at midnight. I went home, played it on Legendary until I beat it.
And just felt the disappointment the whole time.
And I was just so disappointed because it was literally, go to this place, do 3 things. Go to this place, do 3 things. Remember, you're Master Chief.
Yeah.
Go to this place, do 3. I'm like, God, this game sucks.
not
Like, it's
doing this
not fun
anymore.
at all. And I've not played it.
It is lazy. And so I wanted to finish up and I wanted to
played it
follow
again.
through. So Mass Effect 1, 2, and 3, all those developers, after Mass Effect 3 released, they started working on Anthem in
yeah,
2012.
BioWare is the studio. yeah.
Oh,
There you
wow.
go.
That's funny.
I think this game too
BioWare.
suffers from a little bit of the EA curse where EA really likes to milk a property for a good amount of time,
much
and
as
then
they
when the
can.
relevance starts to fall off, they drop it.
Dead Space
3 or
4.
4,
Dead
3
Space.
or 4,
Dead
yep,
Space.
Dead Space 3, great
Dead
example.
Space 1, 2, 3, so
Three,
good.
3,
Incredible.
4, 5 years later, they come back to the IP, they throw a little bit of money at it, and then it doesn't do the numbers they hoped, and they
a
just
money
abandon
grab.
it
They
forever.
put all the money in the trailer.
That's what I feel like. I didn't play.
The trailer was bomb.
I didn't
Dude.
play Andromeda,
But the
but I
trailer was
feel
so
like that's
good.
what happened.
I
with
mean,
it.
God, I want Dead Space 4
All right.
so bad. What are we moving to?
So last thing, I think we should do this with every single thing that we're going to talk about. Buy right away, wait for a sale, or just not pick it up at all. What are you guys going to do? What are you guys thinking for this game?
It'll be a sale for me.
If I'm looking for a new game to play,
Yeah.
3 games for the price of 1, remastered, and a series that people loved and I didn't play before, probably would buy it. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I'm a single player campaign person, especially now with children, because when I pause it, I know what the world's staying still. As soon as I get a new Xbox, once I get Starlink, come on, Elon, I am absolutely buying this game.
Okay.
1,000%.
Yeah. And I may wait for probably a heavier sale just because it's not necessarily my type of thing.
I mean, 3 games for $60.
It's a good idea.
Sounds like a sale to
I'm
me.
thinking $30 on Steam or something. And, this will probably be on Origin. I don't know. Either way.
Sure. Yeah.
All right. So speaking of magical things, which we weren't talking about, but I am so geeked about this game.
We're jumping into games that we're excited for.
Yeah.
Let's go. Coming up.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I'm just gonna.
I think this is my topic, right?
Oh, it is your topic.
It's my topic, but you love it.
It's your topic.
So I'm gonna let everybody kind of take this in. This is the open world Harry Potter game.
I didn't watch this on purpose, by the way. I wanted to see it.
I also have not seen this. So.
We don't have gameplay yet, though. Not really. Not really.
Does the trailer say this is not actual gameplay?
I don't think it does.
Then it's gameplay. I'm gonna say it.
All right.
It could be.
It looks good.
You play as the owl.
Yeah, he plays the owl.
So
only the owl. You just kind of spectate it.
So they did originally have
time to add your own story to the
late 1800s.
So my only issue with Harry Potter stuff is that I was the target market when Harry Potter was being published.
Absolutely.
I'm 30 years old now, so like some of it is childish, and that like I'm cool with it because of the nostalgia, but some of it like I wish it was a bit darker. Like where's Harry Potter for the 30-year-old vulgar me?
I feel help me out here. What in the timeline? Where is this game?
Oh yeah, we're gonna get to it all.
Late 1800s, Hogwarts.
Late 1800s. So this is.
I feel like it's harder to write dark literature or dark thematic elements because usually you have to tackle death or serious relationships. Which start to exclude character possibilities, right? Like when you kill off a main character without trivializing death in your universe.
Yeah. So this is 100 years ish before like the Harry Potter story.
Really?
Ish. Right.
So it's a prequel. Sorry.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm glad I heard that. Sorry.
Yeah.
So
maybe the key.
Wow.
When I was watching this for the first time, because it was, where did they announce this? It was in one of like the either PS5 or Xbox. Like
I think there's a connection to PlayStation.
I think it was the PS5 reveal
with the release
or something.
thing.
Yeah.
I got super excited, and I was always super excited when I was watching this, but right now when that music, that enthusiastic, like, and it was hitting hard, I'm like, wait a second,
that dragon looks lit.
this is cool.
Wow. It's gonna
right
be
here.
Is this MMO?
Drop.
This an MMO?
So I'll explain. I'm
like
gonna jump into it. I'm gonna give you the deets.
It's like a creative character.
That looks good.
Deets.
This is gameplay, guys. I think
it is too.
So
yeah, that right there, that looks like gameplay.
I think it's gameplay as well.
So like we said, I mean, this originally was supposed to release this year.
Okay.
But it's been pushed back to next year.
Sometimes that's a good
So
thing.
Has it?
Yes, sometime next year. So I think that might have said, that says 2021.
Okay.
I think that's literally just talking about the trailer. It is not coming out this year. It'll be coming out next year. So yeah, set in the late 1800s. Harry Potter starts technically in 1980.
Got it.
Yeah.
When did Voldemort come? Oh,
God, dude.
when did he come out?
Well, the first time or the second time?
I'm just saying, when did he who should not be named first enter Hogwarts?
So Harry was born. When did he enter Hogwarts? So he's
He
like,
who
he's
shall
like,
not be named.
He's somewhere around 60 to 70,
Got
I think, during like the regular story.
Okay.
So and Harry was born in 1980. Man,
Okay.
I'm showing my geekiness right now. But this takes
love
place
it,
in
dude.
1800s, so it's not a Harry Potter game. He will not be in it. It was, like I said, originally supposed to come out in 2021. It's going to be pushed back to 2022. It is a open world single player
better.
action RPG.
I love it.
Graphics will be better right away.
Yes,
just because of
100%.
this.
Because you don't have to worry about anybody else.
So that said, though, like
That's gameplay, dude. This looks good.
I think it's gameplay too.
I hope that this does open the door for an MMO Harry Potter.
I want
game.
like an Oblivion Harry Potter,
So-
Skyrim
yes.
Harry
What
Potter.
I've written in my notes here is this is Skyrim-esque Harry Potter.
Let's go,
Dude,
I wrote
let's
it
go.
in my notes.
So would you suggest children? Can I introduce this to my daughter?
So it is. I think so.
Probably.
You would probably want to take a look though. It is supposed to be because it was supposed to be the original title for the game was Hogwarts: A Dark Legacy. So it was supposed to be like a slightly darker story.
adult.
And
There's
that's
zombies.
why the character that you play starts as a 5th year. He's technically 15 as opposed to 11. Yeah. So the story that I've understood so far from the Reddit threads is that you've transferred from a different school. Your character that you play, and you can pick your characteristics, and you can build your character. It's not super crazy, but they look good. It'll put you in a house or whatever. You play your 5th year, 6th year, 7th year, and then your first year is an Auror.
I'm intrigued.
Dark Wizard Catcher. The special thing about your character is you have this ability to control this like ancient dark power. That's like the sort of the story.
I like dark Harry Potter. Let's go.
I know it sounds awesome.
Let's go.
You need to play to the older fans.
It sounds like the skill tree is fairly robust, similar to like a Skyrim or any other.
Because you're flinging magic, you're flinging fire, electricity.
It's there's duels that looks like you can fight from the trailer. You're taming wild animals, the fantastic beasts, as it were. There's dragons, obviously, so there's your Skyrim take. It looks like you're battling a dragon.
It literally looks
I
like
do feel
spells,
like
potions.
Skyrim.
Go ahead.
Do you think it?
I'm
So
excited.
I guess the question for me is the fact that
geeking.
it's like a prequel. Do you feel like in any capacity that kind of limits what you can do there? Like when people like, I have never really been into Harry Potter. I can respect the
Me either.
franchise. I have nothing against it. It was just never something I got super into. But speaking, from experience with games or, any kind of, story or literature from a universe that's already been set, do you feel like the game taking place before the main timeline kind of takes away from like the scale, or not to be ironic, but like the epic of the game, that like
I see.
You kind of like don't interact with those key moments that you came to love about the series. It's kind of just like here's stuff in the universe, but it like people think about the Harry's battles and his story and his elements.
So I'll say two things. So one, like Harry Potter's been out a while, right? And there is a Harry Potter video game for every movie that's come out, and others as well. So I think the idea is that like it's been done. You can, if you want to go play a Harry Potter game and be Harry Potter.
GameCube. I played it on the GameCube.
Go be Harry Potter. What's up?
So I'm thinking here, there's a book,
Yep.
a movie, and a game
Yep.
And a Lego game.
Yep.
for every book. So it comes a book, then you get a movie, then you get a game, right?
I mean, I don't know if that was like the
sense?
timeline, but it happened for sure.
So in this case, this is the only, within reason, it sounds like, because we're not 100% sure, where you're just getting the game. There's no, the game setting the story in the past. There's no book to set precedent.
I mean, I'm sure that because J.K. Rowling has a pretty tight grip on.
I hope she's in this big time.
The story of Harry Potter in any way. So there's all kinds of like, plus the movies, plus the book stuff. Pottermore, you can go and find out more information about the story and stuff. And honestly, like, still, as a 30-year-old, it's hard for me to go on and like make potions on the website. But I like to read like a little bit about the characters and some additional things. And for
What's
me,
your class?
I hear what you're saying. What'd you say?
What are you?
What do you mean?
What's your house?
I'm a Ravenclaw.
Oh, okay, cool. Keep going.
Ask Scott. Scotty's a Slytherin.
Is he? I'm Slytherin as well.
Anyway, so to your point, I get what you're saying. Like you don't go, you don't get any fan service at all. But for me, I know everything about it.
Right.
I want something new, and I think this is going to give me that. And maybe it'll be a weaker story. I mean, I could argue with you until I'm blue in the face that the Harry Potter story is one of the best stories ever told.
It's a really good hero's journey.
But that said, like. I've heard it.
So
you've tasted it before.
So no book. You don't think there's going to be a book behind this?
I don't think so.
No.
So she just said, "Here's the rights. Give me a check. Make a game." And she'll go in and check the arcs and make sure.
She probably has some involvement.
There's I think some characters from the show or from the movies and the books will show up. Probably Dumbledore, if I had to guess, because he's old bastard.
Are there any specific storyline loops that you hope get satisfied because of this?
No, I don't think we'll get any additional. I think this is like a new baddie, a new big bad. I think it's a new story about this like dark magic stuff.
It's far back in the past where it's pretty creative.
There's some stuff in here, right? You see the carriages that are flying. You see the owls. You see they're flying, I think, hippogriffs, earlier. So there's stuff that's in the story that will certainly be here. You're at Hogwarts. Apparently every staircase, every picture, every hallway that's in the castle, which is something people have always wanted. You get a little bit of that in some of the games. Will be here. And then it looks like you can go to Hogsmeade, which I saw. It looks like I'm sure you could go to Diagon Alley. And then that flying scene looks like it's like just open. So at first it said it was a non-linear game, and I'm thinking, okay, so you go to areas, but that's it. But at the same time, it seems to be that it's a bigger area. When you go to like the page itself, you go to the Harry Potter Legacy, Hogwarts Legacy website, it calls it an open world game, and you see the dragons. Dragons are supposed to be in Romania. So, and you're also supposed to be an Auror, the Dark Wizard Catcher, and they tend to travel the world. They go to Egypt. They go to, you know. So my guess is there are sort of fast travel-esque places, and you're going to find that you can go in and around London and Hogwarts and Hogsmeade in that area, and then also maybe go to some other countries and things and do some of this.
Sounds like a big map.
So really quick, this is why I am pumped. So Justin mentioned like, are you bummed that this is not going to be like in the main like Harry Potter like thing?
That was Scotty at 100 hands.
Sky 100 hands mentioned that. So I want to explain why I'm pumped about that. I'm pumped about that because now there's not something that they have to touch on.
Yeah, you're like untethered from.
They can do whatever they want with this. They could go wherever they want with this, and I'm so pumped for that because now it's their own imagination now. They
do
can
you
do
think
whatever they
that
want.
they did this on purpose so you write that story?
Exactly.
I think they did it. You are good. You are bad. You're in the middle. Kind of like the
It gives them
shepherd
more
thing from Mass
flexibility.
Effect.
Yeah,
I've been there, done that, I think is why they're doing this. And you know, if you have a story that's worth telling, tell the damn thing. I mean, I again, as a Harry Potter fan, like, I honestly don't care about the story. If I can just like go be a wizard in an open world, I've been saying this forever. I want Harry Potter, but GTA. That's what I've been saying probably for 10 years.
That's like kind of the same thing you see with like Star Wars as a franchise. Like when you have a universe that has had central themes so thoroughly explored, but it's like a big extended sort of lore, people, I guess, start to get hungry for things outside of the main cast, right?
Yeah.
It's like,
Fallen Order,
like
right?
Darth Vader's cool, but you know, people like the bounty hunters and the desert planets and the star fights and the dog fights, and it's like,
Jedi
people
Fallen
want
Order
more of
is
that.
a really good example. I mean,
So-
that's a great story. It has nothing to do mostly with the main story.
I can see that being the
and I love
angle
it.
here with Harry Potter.
All
Like,
right, buy right away. Wait for a big sale, or don't play it at all. What are you gonna do?
I mean, I'm buying it right away,
there we
for
go.
sure. I play it a lot.
it'll probably be something I wait for a sale on. I think it looks great. It's just not something that I'm like sitting here on the edge of my seat for.
Yeah.
And if I hear good things and, you know, people like it, then it's probably something I'll
There's
play
a
at some
huge
point.
group of people that are hungry for it, and I guess I get why some wouldn't be.
Not to take away from the majesty and potential of this game, I will not be purchasing it.
Yeah, makes sense.
And I'm with Rich on this. I'm probably gonna get it day one.
Oh yeah, I will have it pre-ordered.
I'll be calling golf work playing that game day one.
Yeah, yeah. I just hope it's not an Anthem
I'm so
flop.
sick.
All right, so going into a completely different game.
Oh man,
This looks clean.
I'm already smiling. It's bright.
This looks
So
clean.
sunny.
Cartoonish. It
Oh,
looks
it makes
safe.
me so happy.
No one's gonna ever be offended by anything.
Oh my gosh.
Can I say it one more time? This looks clean.
It looks
does.
very
It
clean.
Time to think things through.
Oh my gosh.
I've been waiting on this actually.
So I don't know if you guys ever played the originals. I believe the original was actually on the NES.
Yeah, the first one's
Yeah.
old, yeah.
Yeah, the first one's on the NES. The first one that I picked up was on the
didn't know
Nintendo
that.
64.
In Nintendo? The normal Nintendo?
Features on the green.
I believe
The
it
first
was
Mario
on the
Golf? We can
NES.
check it.
Yeah,
No,
I'm looking up images now.
There's an original
Dude,
Mario
no,
Golf
this
for
is-
sure.
This origin story is already.
Oh, look at that! They got a reader.
This
Oh.
looks so good.
Dude, you know
These
what?
features can help you
No,
ace your
nobody
shots.
makes cartoons look so good better
addition to button
than
controls.
Nintendo.
And you want
With
to know?
as little as hardware as possible.
Yeah.
They're the most efficient. Dude, their download sizes confuse
So
me.
tiny.
Yeah,
So
NES
tiny.
Open Tournament Golf was the first
There you
one.
go.
Like
There you
Breath of the
They
Wild is
actually-
like 5 gigs, and
Yeah.
it's the biggest game ever made. It's
That's so weird.
Yeah, it's bigger than Skyrim and Morrowind put together.
Yeah, so this is a new thing where like you kind of basically race to your ball. This is an option.
It's like a little mini
Speed
game.
golf.
Speed golf.
That's actually really cool, and I hadn't seen that before. Part of my gripes with
parkour in
the
before.
Mario Sports series, in a sense, is I saw someone make a really good comment online that I kind of felt the same sentiment. Is when you look back at like the Mario Sports games on like GameCube and Wii, like Strikers and baseball. They had like enough of like a goofy, wacky element that it felt like this is Mario's take on baseball or
Yep.
soccer.
Soccer was so good for Super Nintendo.
I feel like it suffered a little bit with like the 3DS games and some of the games since, where it felt more like this is baseball, but we have Mario in it.
Yes.
And less of like this is Mario and his friends playing baseball, and you're gonna throw a fastball that's on fire and has spikes on it. Like, they moved away from that.
Yes.
And you know, like if you're just looking to play a golf game, I can appreciate the fact that Mario Golf, it's basically golf. I mean, it's not like a Tiger Woods.
I'm gonna be
or
honest.
anything.
Tiger Woods eat your heart out. This
Yeah,
looks
but-
better.
Oh, it does
Yeah.
look better. better. It's
But when
funner.
it has
it won't
elements
sell like
that,
Tiger Woods, unfortunately.
when it has elements like that, where it's like, oh, you can press 2 buttons to activate your super special swing, and you hit the golf ball all the way around the planet.
Do you want to play?
That's what makes it. That's what makes it fun. That's what gives it the shine, right? Like
It's like, do you want to play a NASCAR sponsored approved game, or do you want to play Rocket League? Buddy, I'm playing Rocket League.
I like when Nintendo threads the line where it's like I'm still playing golf, but also I'm about to hit Luigi in the head with my driver, and he's going to do a front flip, and then I'm going to get a hole in one, right?
Realism only gets you the effect so much.
Exactly. There needs to be that perfect balance of like cool environments. I actually get to play a little bit of golf, but I get to do fun stuff too.
My pitching wedge.
Hello.
So that's what looks cool about that.
So as a person that
he's got like a golfing scope here. I kind of like
that. That's what I was saying.
I was gonna say that was like an AC 130 for a golf ball.
Talking about remember Snake from last game.
Look at this dude's booty.
No way.
I don't
want the butt shot.
Looks like he has to fart.
Looks like he has to
squeeze it.
Nacho Libres. These are my recreation clothes, and he's squeezing his butt cheeks.
Dude, I watched that for the first time like just a few weeks ago.
Really.
Yeah, it's family friendly too,
it's
man.
So funny.
I like that the dude in the demos like kind of bending his knees and really getting into like golf.
Yeah, he's like,
stance.
guys,
like
this is
if
for
I was
golfers.
playing, I'd just be standing straight up and just like.
These are the Lord's Jeeps.
So I played all the Mario games growing up. So I played Mario Golf, Mario Baseball, like how Andrew was talking about that originally on the GameCube, and then they made another one on the Wii.
I love the Wii.
Absolutely loved it. Absolutely loved it. What else? I had Mario Hoops on the 3DS, so I was all into the whole Mario thing. When this got announced, this was probably the highlight of that huge Nintendo announcement when I thought I was going to be seeing Ocarina of Time remake or maybe a Wind Waker HD coming over because they had that 1 hour Nintendo Direct and they haven't had it forever. This was the highlight of that Nintendo Direct for me. I was super excited for this. It was announced one of the first ones announced. I don't even think they thought it was going to be that popular. It's been pretty popular so far.
I think most of the Mario games pretty universally hit like a base level of popularity.
I mean,
it's hard for them to be pathetic or like
Right.
not
It is
noticed at all.
Nintendo's biggest IP.
Yeah.
Like by far bigger than Pokemon.
Which IP?
Mario.
Mario in general, just over. Yeah. And really, I'm going to tell
Not
you.
Mario Golf.
The new,
Mario Golf. Let me tell you about Mario
The
Golf.
new leadership in Nintendo, especially this new Switch generation, they have taken things much more seriously than I've seen them in past.
And I like that.
Oh, absolutely. Like what they've done with Odyssey. I know I've sung this song 3 episodes in a row now, but what they've done with, Zelda, what they've done with Luigi's Mansion, they have buckled down
Luigi's
on
Mansion, so
more innovation, more focus, more character development, more realism.
I think the Wii U's lack of success, and whether that was due to bad branding or no follow through, I think that really
terrible branding.
I think that really gave them like, hey, we can't rest on our laurels all the time, right? Like we can't just put out one half effort game every year and a half and still do okay because the competition is getting fiercer. And it's funny to me because it seems like other platforms are moving away from like token IPs. Like it seems like, Microsoft has stepped away from, Gears of War and Halo. Like Halo's still being made. But when you think Microsoft, it's not like Master Chief like flexing.
Unfortunately,
anymore,
they're not innovating. Like they
and
do,
I feel like Nintendo has
6
rested
is
on their
what we
IPs for so long, and that's not a bad thing. But they realized that like they needed new flair. And if we're just like, this is the we're doing Mario Golf again, right? And they gave it no effort, no polish, no shine, no innovation. It would still do okay because Nintendo has base appeal, it's family friendly. But when they apply some effort and they give they give it a little bit of a spark, they give it a little bit of soul, if you will, right? That's what really makes this generation stand out. Like most of these games have flavor that you didn't see before.
Going along with what you and Justin were both saying, so I actually read something the other day because I was looking at Pokemon again because I'm just so excited for those new Pokemon remakes. They specifically talked about how they divided, they're bringing in new talent. So they're taking everything very seriously right now. They brought in new talent for Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon, which was a 3DS Pokemon game. And that was specifically the new people. And then they had the older people working Sword and Shield. So they're really trying to hit.
And it's sort of an A team, B team.
As many different things as possible, as many different aspects as possible. Where do you want to mention something really quick?
Yeah, one more thing here before we move on. And I wanted to go further on what
Scotty 100
hands. Thank you. Look at
Gotcha.
Rich. Thank you, man. I appreciate it. Alley-oop, baby.
I knew what you meant.
So one thing I think that's really neat that they're doing is that they're hyper focused on realizing, at least from my perspective, is that these games are meant for children, but they're making them so good to where mom and dad want to play them too.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's what I think that they're doing.
Well,
they're like,
yeah.
obviously the colors, the palette that they're trying to provide, and at least in regards to the experience.
Oh, no.
For sure for children. Yeah, for sure for children. But they're so good that mom and dad want to help and want to be involved. Like with me, with my daughter.
That's what I think Nintendo retains that sense of magic, because I feel like in the pursuit of realism, so many games have kind of become more bland.
Well, they're not games almost anymore.
It's like, I mean, I felt that way so
Call of
strongly
Duty
about
effect.
the most recent two Battlefields.
Okay.
It's like,
How far does my bullet have to drop?
yeah, well,
oh my gosh.
It's like they found this kind of
Time to kill
not
data.
pleasant balance of like visually bland and unappealing. I mean, it looks nice. It looks relatively realistic, but it's like washed out. When you go too far in pursuit of realism, it just stops being fun.
Yeah.
You know, it's
I
like,
totally agree.
I agree.
It's like it just
think they
becomes
get it.
monotonous.
My
Nintendo-
favorite
and
I
games
think
look like
that
shit.
Yeah.
Nintendo is not
I know you
afraid
showed me
to.
last episode.
They're not afraid to keep the magic, keep some of the simplicity, keep some of the color, and like even as I grow older, I can appreciate that things want to be whimsical and bright and fun, and you don't see that across most of the new releases, and that's what kind of. It's like I'm trying to escape reality, not
Right.
live a very detailed.
And I also want to
reenactment,
sit back
right?
on
Like-
my couch.
Right.
Exactly,
And just
yeah.
chill
God,
and
yeah.
hang
I mean,
out.
I play so many games where I'm like, I got that like focus lean, and I'm like, the whole,
It's like
or-
playing a pickup game of basketball but with your fingers. That's that's how I think of Call of Duty.
I mean, it's going to
The heart
screw the
rate
mic
jack.
up,
Right.
right? But I
And-
want to play games like this.
Yeah.
Scotty
Cheetos on my face.
Scotty 100 hands. He has a great point along the lines of like Nintendo has that nice that artistic feature to it, that nice creativity with the graphics, and people would harp on it all the time. Like Wind Waker, people wanted that realistic Zelda when Wind Waker came out, and now it's beloved. And the reason why is because that cell shading
Art style holds up.
It holds its own.
When you pursue realism, you always eventually get outdated and eventually looks bad.
Exactly.
When you focus
You
on an
own
art
what you
style,
are.
Exactly.
When you focus on an art style, like even Breath of the Wild or Mario Odyssey, it's like obviously the technical limitations and the graphics will age, but it was never about like, oh, look at how hyper realistic Mario's mustache looks, right? It's like the world is vibrant, you have good colors, you have good shape, and it's like, and that's important to
Mario
to making something
64 though, when you
appealing.
could stretch his
pull
face. Come on now, that blew my mind.
Also, Mario Odyssey. Shout out to Mario Odyssey for bringing you back to the Mushroom Kingdom, and you can actually look like Mario 64 character at the very end. Guys, are we buying this game? Are we waiting for a sale? Or are we going to pass on this one? What are you thinking?
I will not be buying this.
This will probably be a sale for me. The thing though about Nintendo, I guess, on the flip side, is that first party Nintendo games like never go on sale. This will go on sale in like 2029.
Yeah,
right?
exactly. After they've made six more.
then it'll be 5% off. Like, wow, like I can get it for
It might come with a
$55
console.
now.
Like the best deal Nintendo ever gave you is that it'll come with a game, for like Christmas or something. I'm trying to curb my enthusiasm here because I want to lean into the buy. I'm for sure gonna buy it. I know a sale's not gonna come. You know what? I'm gonna buy it. Yeah,
This is gonna be one of those.
snap, man.
It comes the day after my birthday. I'm going to use some of
This
that
is gonna
birthday
be one of
money
those
for this
things
one.
that
birthday money. You
I
still
will-
get birthday money?
Yes, thanks, Mom
I
and
do
Dad.
too. I do too. It comes in my paycheck.
I will probably
Every
be
year.
sitting there bored one day with my girlfriend or with one of my friends, and I'll be like, "Shit, let's just buy Mario Golf," and I'll just
and
buy
you'll
it,
have a
download it,
great
25
time.
minutes,
It's a
we'll just play
two-player
it,
game.
right?
I bet it would be a great couple
That's
game.
how Mario Kart was.
I hope it's
for me.
online.
It'll probably
be online.
They're getting better about
They-
that.
yeah,
Mario Kart had.
I just had a ton of fun with my friend. We were playing Mario Party because they ran. Game was out for 3 years, never had an update. 3 years later, they just randomly say, "Oh, by the way, we dropped an online place. Now you can play with your friends." I'm like, what are you doing?
At that point,
Nintendo?"
the game goes from like a 5 to an 8. Right?
Yeah. All right. So we got a new game coming up.
Generous.
That game was a 1.
It's better now. It's
And
better.
a-
Well, when
It's
you're playing
maybe-
with people.
So this is another Switch game.
Yeah. So this one's been out for a while.
Elder Dragons and Apex Monsters.
Yeah. So this is Monster Hunter Rise. It's been out since March, I want to say 27th. So this one's been out for a while. What we have here is a video for the title update. So what I'm actually excited about is the Capcom with the last couple Monster Hunters, specifically World and this one actually, they sort of trickle content out, and they've done, time release missions on previous games, but these are the first sort of, full new areas, full new monsters, full new quest lines and stuff.
Looks good.
So Rise is actually adding a handful of new monsters here. I believe from this video, I watched it once. I think it's Chameleos, Kushala Daora, and then I think Teostra. So those are 3 monsters from previous installments in the series, if you will.
Oh, there it is. Teostra.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
That's a name.
Basically, I mean, Monster Hunter's pretty well known amongst people that like the series. Obviously, it's been around for a while. Started on the PlayStation 2. I actually started playing Monster Hunter Freedom Unite on the PSP. So I've been a fan of the series for, I want to say, about 10 years.
2 for 2.
So I really like this installment. Anytime you have a franchise that's beloved and has jumped from platform to platform and style to style and team to team, people have things they like and they don't like. And for me, the previous installment, Monster Hunter World, that came out 2018.
Did you play that?
I did play that. I played a shitload of that game.
Okay.
So
I have a quick question for you.
Yeah, for sure.
So I play Resident Evil a lot, and I heard that Leon is now a character. Is that
so? I believe I don't know. I believe he's probably a skin. So what they have done in the past, they did the same thing with The Witcher. Actually,
okay.
They have these cool little tie-in quests. So like I don't know if you ever played The Witcher, but Geralt, the main character, he actually like shows up through a portal. And you like sort of tag team with him and find a monster. I don't remember specifically what it is, but it's got
Chameleos.
Like big deer horns.
It's the only one I remember.
You kill that, and then you actually get sort of a cosmetic to play as him.
There it is.
Interesting. For those of us that have never played Monster Hunter, I mean, from just watching the trailer, it seems like you just group up with some folks and just like pebble a giant monster until he dies.
So I mean, it's basically, if you've ever played a game that has like a boss rush, for lack of a better term, the game itself is basically a boss rush, and that's kind of what I like about it. Is that
it's like a dungeon in WoW or whatever.
Yeah, in a sense, it's like you. It's like you don't really dawdle too much with, important quest details or fetching this or that too much. I mean, there are some fetch quests in the series, but essentially the focus of the game is just fighting big monsters, right?
And Monster Hunter Rise is like specifically fighting the monsters, right?
Yeah, that's how it's been since basically the start. Now they have sort of tie-in quests, and sometimes like get 3 eggs or kill 10 of this small monster.
Sure.
But the game starts basically, killing smaller monsters, killing the easier monsters, and the gameplay loop, if you will, is essentially just beating difficult monsters, getting parts, making better equipment, fighting harder monsters, so on and so forth. It's got low rank, high rank, and then what's referred to as G rank.
Okay.
So it's like monsters get harder, their movesets get less predictable.
You would G.
I'm seeing guns now.
And
wow.
and it's got like 13 different weapons that drastically change up the gameplay.
the 2 series, the universe.
Yeah, so that's a
that's what I was
crossover
talking
mission.
about.
So when you beat that, you can play as Leon or Claire.
All right, so this is Monster Hunter World. Okay.
Yeah.
There you go.
So this was the previous installment.
Yes.
And Rise basically builds off of World in a lot of ways. Similar elements, similar revisions. But I really like it. I think ultimately I like it more than World because they sort of found their footing. And I think they weren't afraid to take on some challenges. I think World suffered from wanting to be too simple in some regards.
Yeah.
They didn't add too many of the fan favorite monsters. They didn't keep it... they didn't go as expansive as they had before. And a lot of that had to do with the new engine, new technical limitations. But Rise adding new content, adding new monsters, streamlining it, adding fan favorites, being a little bit more creative. I think it's an incredible game.
So all those monsters that were on there, they were in previous games as well?
So not all of them.
Okay.
So World had, I don't remember the exact number, but World had a couple of fan favorites from previous games that have been staples in the series. And then a good amount of monsters that were brand new to the series for that game. So Rise uses a lot of monsters from previous installments from World, and it has some unique ones that were made specifically for the game. So, so the roster is bigger than World. So that means more gameplay essentially for me. And they just add a lot of new systems like wire bugs, so you can like zip back and forth through the sky. You can mount the monsters in a new way. There's just a lot of cool stuff here. So if you're into action games or any kind of big monster game or tag team playing with your friends or playing solo, I can't recommend the series enough.
Yeah, I just based off the point that he just made, that's sort of the question I was going to ask. It sounds like the rest of us have not played these at all, right? Have you played any minutes of this?
My friends have. I have not.
Okay, so I guess my question is like, what is it about the games or the series or even the new update that should entice people to play it? Like, why should I like go and look into playing it? Because I don't know anything about it. I mean, like, what do you find fun?
I think that the game has a really good challenge reward system in place.
Okay.
I think that the game is difficult in a lot of ways, but usually not in a way that's like, oh, that was bullshit or that was cheap.
Brutal.
Like, and it can be brutal when you start fighting like Apex monsters, which are like intentionally over the top. I think that it's challenging, and one of the cool things is that your equipment gets better, but you actually don't level up really. Like you don't like, oh, I'm gonna unlock this new perk to like insta one shot a monster. Like your equipment gets better, and your clear times and the damage you do gets better, but a lot of it is largely skill based, and a lot of the improvements you see throughout the game are simply because you become a better player. Not necessarily that your equipment got so much better. Like even if you're a terrible player and you have the best equipment in the game, you could still die to one of the first boss fights. Like you never get like, oh, I'm untouchable. Like you get stronger and stronger, but it's really about like your development. And eventually it's one of those series too. When I first started playing, I was like, I don't like this game very much. This kind of sucks. But then I found myself like coming back. I was like, well, I want to beat it. I want to beat it. And it's gotten more friendly. Like the
Damn
first
Camellios.
Yeah, the like Freedom Unite on the PlayStation Portable, like that was one of those games where it had like a beautiful amount of jank.
Yeah.
Like there's a specific monster called Plesioth that was like, it's basically this fish with legs, and it has this obnoxious move where it just hip checks you, like just slams into you. Had a horrible hitbox. It was a terrible meme. Like you just get inside, but it's like, it's challenging the way that makes you want to come back for more. And I would equate it in a sense like kind of like Dark Souls, if anyone's played that, where it's like, man, that's bullshit. Brutal. Man, this game's brutal. Like, and then you like throw the controller down, and then you come back and you're like, fuck it, I'm gonna do it again. Like,
I can 100% relate to that.
And so like that notion of challenge and improvement, and the fact that the monsters are cool and badass, and it's like I'm this guy swinging a 10-foot long sword, hitting like a T-Rex in the head, like just that sort of, it just has an appeal. And
that's all you had to say.
Yeah, it's not for everybody.
It's all that over the top stuff. I love
it. It's not for everybody, but I recommend giving it a try, especially because there's a demo on the store. Nice. So it's like if you are just into something challenging, something you can pick up, play as much as you want, as little as you want, play with friends. It's got a little bit of a story, but it's not plot driven.
When did this come out?
This came out in March.
Okay, so the update came out in March?
So this title update should be out, I think one dropped a couple days ago, and then a big expansion to the story drops at the end of March.
Did you pick up that? Did you pick up that one already or not yet?
The title update? Yeah. That's just a free like DLC.
Oh,
update.
So have you had the opportunity to play that
I have
yet?
not gotten that far. I've played, I think, about 40 hours or so, but with real life stuff and other games I've been playing, I've been kind of saving a lot of this for a rainy day.
Okay.
But I have enjoyed what I played immensely thus far. It's a great game.
Nice. Cool. Yeah, you could have just said, I get a 10-foot sword and I can swing it at
I mean, that sounds cool. Well, the part that I like a lot is the fact that, like how Andrew just said, like this has a demo for me to try out.
Yeah.
So, like,
is the demo enough to get you hooked?
Oh, I think so. I think it's got 3 different monsters you can fight.
Okay.
With 3 essentially different levels of challenge. The first being a really introductory fight. Second being a little bit tougher, and the third being like, wow, I'm getting my shit stomped.
On the Switch.
Yes,
correct?
on the Switch.
All right, cool. Yeah. So yeah, if you're interested in Monster Hunter at all, it sounds like there's a demo on the Switch.
It's a good way to get in. And it like
check it out.
if you really want to see what it can be like, if you go straight into that hardest hunt, you'll get hit in like. You'll die in like 3 hits. You'll be like, all right, what the fuck? So it's like, so you can't see how brutal it can be. But
I'm gonna do it. That's exactly what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna get the demo for free and die immediately, and then text Andrew.
And then get pissed and never play
text Andrew, be like, what the fuck did you make me do?
This game's bullshit.
No, he's gonna be like,
believe you brought that up on our
podcast. How dare you? But I do like demos, and it's sadly demos are being moved away from.
Yeah,
and I think that's because developers have more to hide.
Like that's because we don't go and get pizza from Pizza Hut anymore and get a disc with like Tomb Raider on it.
Get your free 10 hours of dialogue.
Is that something that you experienced in your life? Like that
like demo discs? Yeah, I'd get those on like
100%.
Game Informer and the PlayStation Monthly magazine.
There are some games when I was like a little kid that I would literally like play the crap out of just like the demo. There was a really
you get those like demo discs.
I
that
did
had,
the
like
Captain
8
Crunch
demos
one that came with the Crunch Berries.
Oh gosh,
I spent way too long on that. But I think we had some more news to talk about. So I mean, I pulled a Charizard, and somebody might have pulled something a little bit bigger coming up.
Yeah. This is going to be a really cool segment. So we're going to speculate a little bit. We're going to call it Mr. Dexterity Speculation. I don't know.
I forgot his name.
While you're doing
Dexterity.
I'll turn the brainstorming on and get you an alliterative title for this section. Go ahead. We're gonna probably end on this one, today. I think
we should. This will be a great one to wrap up on. So, but what we're going to talk about today, everybody, is kind of a vision that I see where Tesla's going. So, I'll try to keep this really hyper focused.
Okay.
So think gaming in a car. particularly Tesla, and I want to talk
Go
about
on.
the tech.
You have me.
I mean, you already have my
have me.
attention. So
You had me at dexterity.
What I'm going to ask Nick to do here is he's going to go ahead and for the viewers to scroll through the interior. So scroll down a little bit. There's an interior
down?
section. Yes. We're going to scroll through. So keep going until you hit interior.
wait, can I make it?
No, keep going all the way down.
He's that all black.
All right, now,
ninja.
time out. Stop,
It's like,
stop,
no.
stop. We're here.
Okay,
All
I'm
right.
here,
So now you're looking at the interior. So this is where I think this is going.
I can smell the new leather.
Oh, it smells so
is
good,
scheming
dude.
here. So the Model S in the past, it had a vertical screen.
I've actually seen those in like the demos.
Yes.
Tall
Yes,
screen.
yes,
So
yes,
they're in the new refresh model, they're going to horizontal.
course.
So it'll be the largest horizontal screen that you'll have in the interior. This thing actually pivots, which is really neat.
Oh, you can like flip it.
Wide-
And it'll
widescreen,
pivot slowly,
baby.
right?
Nice.
That way, if you're ride sharing, right, and you're sitting in the passenger seat, now you are the captain. So this is where it's going.
90s hits only.
All right. So now click next, please. Click. No, you're right there. Yep. Next.
Yeah.
No. Yeah, right there,
no,
boss.
I did it, guys.
Oh no, do it again. All right, we're gonna try to get to the interior. There's another view of the interior that we're looking for.
Okay.
Right. Okay. So scroll down a little more. For some
Okay.
reason, it's not showing it. So there is actually in the new refresh Model S and X a 8-inch screen in the back seat. as well.
Oh, damn.
So, and it's high fidelity, really good pixel and all that stuff. And this thing has Bluetooth capability for Xbox controllers, PlayStation controllers.
sweet.
So where is this going?
Really quick question.
Please.
Is there anywhere that we could put in like a micro HDMI or HDMI cable into one of
No.
those screens?
No, sir. Oh, no, hold on. You don't need that.
I don't
Buddy.
need it?
This thing is equipped.
Plugs into your brain, bro.
This thing is equipped with a 10 plus teraflop GPU meant only for gaming.
cow.
Elon has said that it is going to be as powerful, if not more powerful, than a PS5 and a new Xbox.
All right, I'm sold.
Just in there.
I am selling my
just
Jeep
chilling
right
in.
now.
You're gonna be sitting in your driveway in your back in the back seat of your car.
And if you happen to be an
Girlfriend's gonna ask you
astute,
what you're doing.
if you happen to be an astute viewer, if you look on the screen here, what is that being displayed on the screen? Of not of the your screen.
I
but
see
of
The Witcher 3, but I also see Cuphead. I think.
I see
Yeah,
Cuphead.
Witcher 3 is a video game, right? Next gen video game. Witcher. So you can play Witcher on this, and this is him pointing that out.
Okay.
So that is actually Witcher, the game, not the series on Netflix. Right, so they're kind of pointing to what's happening. So how this works, and we'll try to keep this simple and quick, so I don't lose the viewers. Sometimes I can kind of get lost in my excitement.
I mean, I'm excited.
Think Starlink, Elon, right? Starlink.
Oh, yeah.
This is going to give you
Explain Starlink again really quick. Super
Starlink
fast.
is a new satellite company. All satellite companies in the past have went bankrupt. This is going to be the first one to not, and I'll tell you why. The new technology is low Earth orbit satellites. They are an order of magnitude closer to the Earth compared to far away ones. So versus you have stationary satellites that go so far away it gets locked in motion with the Earth, kind of sits still. These low Earth orbit ones, they actually they're consistently falling and moving really, really quick. And he's doing a web of them. So up to let's say 10,000 up to 42,000 total.
Yeah, he's got 1,000 up there now.
Yeah, over 1,000 actually.
Okay.
Yeah, about 1,400, I believe. And then he's always adding 60 as we go. And once Starship gets going, they're going to be able to add way more than 60 at a time. We're talking hundreds at a time. So this is going to get quicker and quicker. So Starlink's going to give them the bandwidth that they need for people to download these games, low latency to play multiplayer games. Imagine being in a road trip. You hail a taxi, which will be a Tesla. You'll pull up your Tesla app. You'll summon a Tesla. Tesla will drive to you autonomously through AI and the neural net. You're going to get robo taxis.
Oh my
You can summon a Model S or an X. You'll sit in any seat that you want, whether back or front. All your friends, and then you guys pull up Rocket League or whatever You can be the new COD, whatever it is. You sync up your controllers. Your destination. Let's say it's an hour away. Where this would be tedious in the past, now you're more advantageous to go further distances because you can do these gaming experiences in the car now. Watch longer cinematic movies, amazing sound systems, low latency internet, download whatever game you need on the fly. You can even probably stream it. 4K capability. So Robotaxi technology, Starlink technology, and then there's one more technology that I'm looking for here. Oh yeah, and then the silicon. As I understand, Tesla's working towards making their own silicon. So it's not going to come from AMD, Intel in the future. It's actually going to be Tesla silicon.
Yeah, I was reading about this a
vertical
little bit.
integration, very, very important. So the way that we engage with cars and the way that we do transportation is going to be vastly different in the next 5 years in the best scenario to 10.
Yeah.
Now, if you have the capital to purchase these cars, these experiences will be available this year.
Yeah.
This year. Yeah. That's why that is that steering wheel you're looking at is called a yoke. Yep. This is what they use in airplanes. But they do that because when you're not physically driving the car yourself anymore, it's less obtrusive. You get access to the screens. It's a little
What car
more
is
fluid.
this?
This is the Model S here.
Yeah.
Okay.
This is the flagship Tesla model.
Okay.
Refreshed interior. These have not made deliveries yet. They were supposed to make deliveries 2 months ago due to the chip constraints we've been seeing. Yeah. This has now been pushed back until
I think
this
damn
month
near
next.
every single thing has been pushed back. At this
Yeah,
point.
yeah,
I mean,
sure.
it's just the reality of the situation.
Yeah.
So can I interject?
Yeah,
one
please,
of my thoughts. One of the things, of course, hasn't been announced or anything. But one of the things that I was kind of thinking of, and you touched on it, but I kind of wanted to expand on it, is the idea that obviously you were kind of focusing on that robo taxi, which I think is the future. I mean, we won't need ambulances anymore. Right. Once
at least
this,
a driver.
Right. Yeah. Well, exactly. And if you own an automatic car, you own an autonomous car.
Your Tesla will do surgery on you.
I just
right. But so,
I just can't stop thinking I am Legend. But keep going. Yeah.
No. I mean, basically, yeah. Just give them more than 3 rules. Anyway, so what I was thinking is, in addition to all this, is that even further road trips. Like if you have a Tesla yourself, you jump in your car, you set your destination. You have to get out and charge. But aside from that, it's going to take you to the places
For now.
And you can literally with the great thing about Starlink is that it will be universally and uniformly available, so they can use that network also to continue to improve the fully autonomous driving.
Right.
And not only is your car connected, but your car and the next car, everything connected. And then not only are you is your car using that for the destination and knowing where to go and not running into other cars, but also for all the Fortnite sessions you're playing in your on your 13-hour drive to Florida or wherever you're going.
When you
imagine commuting.
Beat someone in Fortnite, when you wipe a squad, their car explodes. they're just done.
Oh my God, yeah. But anyway, so yeah, it's a really it's weird to think about that will be so normal. When I think about
future's bright, man.
When I think about going on a long trip, if it takes longer than about 6 hours, maybe 7 hours to drive there, I'm gonna fly because I'm lazy.
Oh well, I mean, and for the you can say what you will about the flying industry, if you will, but most of the time, when you factor in gas and stuff nowadays, it's like shit. If you're flying a reasonably far distance, it's probably not going to cost you too much more to fly.
And to be honest with you, like I will pay for that convenience.
Time and money,
100%.
right?
I
would rather spend an extra $300 than drive for 2 days.
That's a big call out. So I wanted to say is that the hardest part of driving, in my opinion, I mean, the gas is what it is. Filling it up, maintaining the car is the attention it takes from you.
Yeah. I can't play Fortnite.
After 6 hours, 6 hours.
How am I going to play Pokemon?
6 hours of driving, I am mentally exhausted.
Yeah.
And any more than that, I'm hurting the next day.
Yeah.
It does take a lot of compute power from your own.
If you're not driving,
biology.
if you're not driving somewhere where the scenery is beautiful, it's just a chore, right? Like if you're driving through a beautiful mountain range, it's like wow.
It's still kind of a chore.
It's still something you have to do, but at least you can appreciate the things outside.
For sure.
If you're driving through a cornfield or just an empty road, after an hour of that, it's like.
Yeah, you're knocking out, and the thing that I'm so excited about, and people ask me this all the time, is like, oh, aren't you afraid that if you get a Tesla and people start doing autonomous driving and it's fully regulated, you're gonna get in a car accident? I'm like, not really. I kind of trust all this. I'm super excited for
the machines are so much better at it than you will ever be.
Exactly.
They have 8 eyeballs right now, and they can 3 behind their head.
Time is money, and the most valuable thing that we have is our time. And if we can allocate our time to something else besides focusing on a road so we don't get in a car accident, that's
the
worth
most
so much.
useless waste of our time is driving.
Yes,
it really is.
Argue.
It is.
What's funny about that comment is the reason people get into accidents is mistakes, of course, that they made, but also hesitation.
Yeah.
You know what the car never will ever do is hesitate.
No.
It'll do exactly what
it'll
it's
self-destruct without warning.
It'll
just take you out.
It literally. So you can go on. You don't have to do it now, but anybody listening, if you haven't seen this, go on YouTube and type in Tesla saved car crash or whatever, and that thing is stops right away. You'd go, oh shit, I'm driving. I'm going too fast.
I'm a
That
human
car is
being.
stopped.
I'm living a real life. I need to brake my car now.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, maybe I should tell my leg to go to the brake.
Right.
Okay. And that time is what causes people. I mean,
Reaction time.
how many times in your own life have you like gotten super close to hitting? The Tesla will never let you do that.
Nope.
Never. I mean, that technology isn't exclusive to Tesla, but Tesla does it the best.
Yes.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
I mean, my wife's car stopped the other day. Not a Tesla. Stopped us the other day, and it was abrupt, and we didn't know that it did it, but we got real close, and we weren't going that fast. The Tesla would have been like, "Bruh, no."
Yeah.
No,
Not happening.
With regenerative braking, better brake calipers in general.
I mean, it's a badass golf cart. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
More to come on that one, right?
Yeah.
We'll talk more on that one.
Yeah,
so I don't
maybe
wanna
behind the
overextend it,
behind the scenes of the scene. I don't know what I'm saying.
Well, what I do know is I have a Jeep right now because I always wanted a Jeep, and it was
great.
it was
Looks great.
very even now, and I'm just thinking about going back to my house. There's a very very bumpy road that leads into the garage, and I'm like, I cannot have a Model 3 right now because I will break it going down that road.
Model Y, baby.
I want a Tesla so bad.
Model Y,
Like,
baby.
If I get rid of my Jeep, man.
couple of inches up higher, but anyway.
So with that being said, I have to research this a little bit more right now because I really, really want a Tesla.
Yeah.
And with that being said,
Who
guys,
doesn't?
I think this we're gonna have to cut it because I got things that I gotta
we all have
do.
Teslas to go
Yeah,
buy
we
right
all
now.
have Teslas to go buy right
We
now.
need to work so we
I
can
gotta
afford
liquidate
Teslas.
some assets.
Exactly.
real quick.
So thank you guys for watching Multiplayer Mode episode 3, and thank you, Scotty, 100 hands for joining us today.
No problem. Much love.
Come back again, man. I appreciate
maybe.
it.
Oh, absolutely,
Wonderful
guys,
job.
guys. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this, hit the like button. If you're not subscribing right now and you want more content like this, hit that bell, ring that bell. We are
Comment for the algorithm.
yes, and comment for the algorithm. Exactly. Just like everything, every comment, just start liking it.
Just put your grandma's pie recipe.
Yeah.
Name of your
Yeah,
favorite
yeah. So
dog.
we can
Other
cut that.
security
Pie
questions
sounds
for your
so-
Just
favorite
the home
accounts.
row is
All right,
okay.
I'm leaving. I'm going to get pie.
Yep.
Yep.
Everybody have a good one. Take it easy.